Welcome, fellow adventurers, to the enchanting realm of winter in China. Imagine a land where ancient wonders wear a pristine coat of snow, where vibrant festivals illuminate the frosty nights, and where natural beauty takes on a thorough charm. From the majestic Great Wall winding through a snowy landscape to the crystalline lake of Jiuzhaigou shimmering under a frozen sky, China in winter is a symphony of sights and experiences unlike any other. But this journey is not without its challenges. Beyond the breathtaking scenery lies a cultural landscape that can be both fascinating and perplexing for first-time visitors. To truly unlock the magic of winter in China, one must be prepared to navigate not only the physical terrain but also the intricacies of language, customs, and modern-day technologies. Join us as we embark on an expedition through the heart of winter in China, unveiling its hidden treasures and equipping you with the knowledge and tools to conquer the challenges that lie ahead. Get ready to immerse yourself in a world of contrasts where the ancient and the modern intertwine, and where adventure awaits at every frosty turn. Navigating the labyrinth. Challenges of winter travel in China. Venturing into a foreign land, especially one as vast and culturally rich as China, can be an exhilarating yet daunting experience. While the allure of winter landscapes and festive celebrations is undeniable, it's essential to be aware of the unique challenges that may arise during the travels. By understanding these potential hurdles, you can better prepare yourself for a smoother and more enjoyable journey. The language barrier. Mandarin Chinese reigns supreme as the official language of China. While English signage and menus are becoming more prevalent in major cities and tourist hotspots, venturing beyond these areas may lead you into a linguistic maze where communication can be tricky. Don't let this deter you, though. Embrace the opportunity to learn a few basic Mandarin phrases, utilize translation apps, and rely on body language when words fail. Remember, a smile and genuine effort to connect can go a long way in bridging the communication gap. Visa requirements. Before you even pack your bags, ensure you have the necessary visa to enter China. The visa application process can vary depending on your nationality and purpose of visit. Research specific requirements well in advance and allow ample time for processing. A valid visa is your passport to unlocking the wonders of China, so don't let this crucial step slip through the cracks. The Great Firewall and Internet access. China's internet landscape is unique, with restrictions on access to many popular websites and applications that you might rely on back home. This includes social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, search engines like Google, and communication tools like WhatsApp and Gmail. To stay connected with loved ones and access essential information, consider setting up a virtual private network or VPN before your trip. A VPN can help you bypass the restrictions and enjoy a more seamless online experience. The cashless society. China has rapidly embraced digital payment methods, with mobile apps like Alipay and WeChat Pay dominating everyday transactions. While credit cards are accepted in some establishments, particularly in larger cities, relying solely on them may prove limiting. To fully immerse yourself in a Chinese way of life and avoid potential inconveniences, consider setting up a mobile payment account or carrying sufficient cash for smaller purchases and transportation. Braving the winter chill. Winter in China can be bitterly cold, especially in the northern regions. Temperatures can plummet below freezing, and snow and ice are common occurrences. Pack accordingly, layering up with thermal wear, warm sweaters, and a sturdy winter coat, a hat, gloves, and a scarf. Don't forget to protect your extremities with thick socks and waterproof boots to keep your feet warm and dry. Cultural nuances. China boasts a rich and diverse culture with customs and traditions that may differ significantly from your own. Take the time to familiarize yourself with basic etiquette, such as greeting people with a slight bow instead of a handshake, using both hands when giving or receiving gifts, and avoiding loud or boisterous behavior in public places. Understanding and respecting cultural norms can enhance your interactions with locals and enrich your overall experience. Gearing up for the adventure. Essential preparations. Now that you're aware of the potential challenges, let's shift our focus to preparing for a successful and fulfilling winter journey in China. By taking the following steps, you can equip yourself with the necessary tools and knowledge to navigate the cultural landscape and embrace the wonders that await. Master the basics of Mandarin. While fluency in Mandarin is not expected, learning a few basic phrases can significantly enhance your interactions with locals and demonstrate your respect for the culture. Start your greetings like 你好, hello, 谢谢, thank you, and 不客气, you're welcome. Practice common expressions like 再见, goodbye, 对不起, sorry, and 请问, excuse me. Even a few simple words can go a long way in building rapport and fostering positive connections. Equip yourself with translation tools. In situations where verbal communication proves challenging, translation apps can be your lifeline. Download reliable apps like Pleco or Google Translate to your smartphone or tablet. These apps can translate words, phrases, and even entire sentences, helping you decipher menus, signs, and conversations. Some apps even offer offline translation capabilities, which can be invaluable in areas with limited internet access. Secure your digital freedom with VPN. As mentioned earlier, China's internet restrictions can hinder your ability to access familiar websites and applications. To ensure uninterrupted communication and access to information, invest in a reputable VPN service before your trip. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic and routes it through a server in another country, effectively bypassing a great firewall and granting you access to a wide range of online resources. Embrace the cashless revolution. To navigate China's increasingly cashless society, consider setting up a mobile payment account with Alipay or WeChat Pay. These apps allow you to make payments for goods and services, transfer money, and even book transportation with ease. You can link your account to your international credit card or top it up with cash at designated locations. Embracing these digital payment methods can simplify your transactions and provide a more authentic experience. Pack for frigid temperatures. Winter in China can be unforgiving, so pack accordingly. Layer your clothing to trap heat and regulate your body temperature. Start with thermal underwear as a base layer, followed by sweaters, fleece jackets, and a waterproof outer layer. Don't forget to protect your head, ears, and hands with a warm hat, gloves, and a scarf. Invest in quality waterproof boots with good insulation to keep your feet warm and dry in snowy or icy conditions. Prepare a comprehensive first aid kit. While China has a well-developed healthcare system, it's always wise to be prepared for minor ailments or emergencies. Pack a comprehensive first aid kit with essentials like pain relievers, antihistamines, cold and flu medications, bandages, antiseptic wipes, and any personal medications you require. Consult your doctor before your trip to ensure you have all the necessary vaccinations and health precautions. Immerse yourself in cultural knowledge. Before embarking on a journey, take the time to learn about Chinese culture, history, and traditions. Read books, watch documentaries, or explore online resources to gain insights into the country's rich heritage. Understanding the cultural context can enhance your appreciation for the places you visit and the people you meet. It can also help you avoid cultural faux pas and navigate social interactions with greater sensitivity. Craft a detailed itinerary. While spontaneity can be exciting, having a well-planned itinerary can maximize your time and ensure you don't miss out on key experiences. Research for destinations, identify must-see attractions, and book accommodations and transportations in advance, especially during peak season. A detailed itinerary can provide a framework for your adventure, allowing you to explore with confidence and make the most of your time in China. Embrace adventure. Most importantly, approach your winter journey in China with an open mind and a spirit of adventure. Embrace the unexpected. Be willing to step outside your comfort zone and allow yourself to be captivated by the beauty and diversity of this extraordinary land. With careful preparation and positive attitude, your winter adventure to China is sure to be an unforgettable experience. With your bags packed, your Mandarin phrases practiced, and your VPN activated, you're ready to step into the captivating world of winter in China. Your first destination is Beijing, the vibrant capital city, where ancient history and modern dynamism collide amidst a breathtaking winter wonderland. Stepping out of the bustling airport, the first thing that hits you is the crisp winter air, a stark contrast to the warmth you left behind. This is it, the start of your Chinese adventure. To get to the city center, you could hop in a taxi for about 80 yuan, around $12. But you decide to take a cheaper and faster option, the Airport Express train for only 25 yuan, $3.70. As the train speeds towards the city, you can already feel the excitement building. You've planned to spend 5 to 7 days in Beijing, eager to immerse yourself in its rich history, vibrant culture, and stunning winter scenery. When it comes to accommodation, Beijing offers a wide range of options to suit every budget and preference. From budget-friendly hostels to luxurious 5-star hostels, you'll find the perfect place to rest your head after a day of exploring. Generally, dorm rooms in hostels cost around 60 to 150 yuan, $9 to $22 per night, while private rooms in hostels or budget hostels range from 150 to 300 yuan, $22 to $45. For a more comfortable stay, 3 to 4-star hostels cost around 300 to 800 yuan, $45 to $120. And if you're looking for luxury, 5-star hostels start at 1,000 yuan, $150 and up. For your trip, you've opted for a cozy hostel nestled in the historic Hutong alleyways. For just 80 yuan, $12 a night, you have a bed in a 6-bed dorm, a vibrant common room where you can swap stories with fellow travelers, and a communal kitchen where you can whip up a meal. It's a perfect base for exploring the city and experiencing authentic Beijing life. And there's so much to explore. You decide to start with the Mutianyi section of the Great Wall of China, known for its stunning scenery and fewer crowds. The cable car whisks you up the mountainside for 120 yuan, $18 round trip, and you set out to explore the wall. Walking along the ancient stone path, you marvel at the sheer scale and ingenuity of this iconic structure. The wind whips through your hair as you take in breathtaking views of a surrounding snow-dusted landscape. Next, you venture into the Forbidden City. Stepping through the imposing Meridian Gate, you're transported back in time to the days of emperors and empresses. The vast courtyards, ornate halls, and intricate decorations are a testament to the power and grandeur of the Ming and Qing dynasties. You wander through the Palace of Heavenly Purity, the Hall of Preserving Harmony, and the Imperial Garden, imagining the lives of those who once resided within these walls. Admission is 60 yuan, $9. Early one morning, you head to the Tiananmen Square, the largest public square in the world. The vast expanse is awe-inspiring, and you feel a sense of history as you stand before the mausoleum of Mao Zedong, an imposing Tiananmen Gate. You watch the flag-raising ceremony and a daily ritual that draws crowds of onlookers. To escape the hustle and bustle of the city, you visit the Summer Palace. The sprawling Imperial Garden is a haven of tranquility, with serene Kunming Lake, ornate bridges, and colorful pavilions. You rent a boat and glide across the lake, taking in the peaceful scenery. You also climb Longevity Hill to visit the Tower of Buddhist Incense, enjoying panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. Entrance to Summer Palace is 30 yuan, $4.50. You also make time to visit the Temple of Heaven, a masterpiece of ancient architecture with its distinctive circular buildings and vibrant colors. You wander through the Hall of Prayer of Good Harvest, the Imperial Vault of Heaven, and a circular Mount altar, learning about the Emperor's rituals and their connection to the heavens. To experience a different side of Beijing, you lose yourself in a maze of narrow alleyways that make up the city's historic hutongs. These traditional neighborhoods offer a glimpse into the city's past, with their charming courtyard homes, bustling markets, and friendly locals. You wander through the alleyways, stopping to admire the intricate decorations on the doorways and eavesdropping on conversations in the local tea houses. Of course, no trip to Beijing is complete without savoring its famous cuisine. You can live without trying Peking duck. And at Pianyi Fang, a popular local eatery, you savor the crispy skin and succulent meat, expertly carved tableside, and served with thin pancakes, scallions, and sweet bean sauce. Half a duck costs 150 yuan, $22. You also try other local favorites, like Jiuzhaigou, a savory noodle dish with a rich fermented soybean paste sauce, and delicious dumplings filled with various savory ingredients. On a chilly evening, you gather with your new hostel friends for a Mongolian hot pot feast, cooking thinly sliced lamb, vegetables, and noodles in a simmering broth. To get around the city, you rely mainly on the subway, which is efficient and affordable, with fares ranging from 3 to 10 yuan, 45 cents to $1.50, depending on the distance. You also hop on a few buses for a scenic ride through the city with fares as low as 1 to 2 yuan, from 50 to 30 cents. Occasionally, you hail a taxi for short distances with a starting fare of 13 yuan, $2, and 2.3 yuan, 35 cents per kilometer. On your last day, you climb Jingshan Hill for a panoramic view of the city. The Forbidden City sprawls out before you, its golden roofs gleaming in the winter sun. You take a deep breath, savoring the moment and the memories you made in this fascinating city. Along with Beijing, Jiuzhaigou Valley is another must-visit destination on a winter journey through China. This valley is renowned for its pristine and majestic beauty, boasting crystal-clear lakes, cascading waterfalls, and vast primeval forests. It's a perfect place to immerse yourself in nature, breathe in the fresh air, and discover the unique culture of the local people. To fully explore Jiuzhaigou, you should plan to spend around 3 to 5 days there. Upon arriving in Zhangjiajie, the town nearest to Jiuzhaigou Valley, you'll begin to search for the perfect place to stay. Just like Beijing, Jiuzhaigou offers a wide range of accommodations options to suit every budget and preference, from budget-friendly hostels to cozy guest houses and luxurious hotels. If you're a social butterfly looking to save some money, hostels are an excellent choice. Dorm room typically cost around 50 to 150 yuan, $7 to $22 per night, while private rooms range from 150 to 300 yuan, $22 to $45. For a more intimate and authentic experience, consider staying in a guest house. Many guest houses in Jiuzhaigou are built in a traditional Tibetan style, with rustic wooden interiors, charming windows, and unique decorations. Prices for guest houses range from 200 to 500 yuan, $30 to $75 per night. If you prefer more privacy, comfort, and amenities, hotels are a good option. You can find a 3 to 4-star hotels for around 500 to 1,000 yuan, $75 to $150 per night, while 5-star hotels start at 1,500 yuan, $220 and up. You can find a variety of hotels and hostels in towns near Jiuzhaigou Valley, such as Zhangjiajie, Jiuzhaigou, and Songpan. For convenient access to transportation and the park entrance, consider staying near a bus stop or entrance to Jiuzhaigou National Park. Keep in mind that accommodation in central Zhangjiajie tends to be more expensive, so you might want to look for guest houses in outskirts if you're on a budget. Once you've settled into your accommodation, it's time to explore. Bicycles are the perfect way to explore Jiuzhaigou at your own pace. You can easily find bike rentals in Zhangjiajie for around 30 to 50 yuan, $4 to $7 per day. As you cycle through the valley, you'll be amazed by diverse and stunning lakes, each with its own unique beauty and color. You'll encounter Five Flower Lake with its crystal-clear waters, Mirror Lake with its perfect reflections of the surrounding mountains, and Long Lake with its deep blue hues. The entrance fee to Jiuzhaigou National Park is 220 yuan, $33 during peak season, but the sight of these incredible lakes is priceless. Jiuzhaigou is also home to magnificent waterfalls, including Nuro-Yulang Waterfall, the widest waterfall in China. As you watch the water cascading down the cliffs, you'll be awestruck by the power and beauty of nature. Don't miss Pearl Shovel Waterfall, where the water tumbles down like glistening pearls, creating a mesmerizing scene. The valley is also covered in lush, primeval forests, perfect for leisurely strolls or bike rides. Breathe in the fresh air and enjoy the tranquility of nature. Don't forget to bring your camera to capture the beauty of its pristine environment. Near Jiuzhaigou, you'll find several ancient Tibetan villages where you can experience the local culture, customs, and way of life. Visit temples, shop for souvenirs, or try some traditional Tibetan food. To further immerse yourself in Tibetan culture, you can even attend a traditional song and dance performance. The graceful movements, melodious music, and vibrant costumes will surely be a memorable experience. And speaking of food, don't miss a chance to try some local delicacies. Yak meat hot pot is a must-try. The tender yak meat cooked in a flavorful broth with vegetables. A hot pot typically costs around 100 yuan, $15. Tibetan noodles are not a delicious option, made from barley flour and served with a variety of toppings. A bowl of Tibetan noodles costs around 20 yuan, $3. And for a truly unique experience, try butter tea, a traditional Tibetan beverage made with yak butter, tea leaves, and salt. A cup of butter tea costs around 10 yuan, $1.50. If you're feeling adventurous, you can even join a cooking class to learn how to make these traditional dishes yourself. If you're seeking a true winter wonderland, Harbin is the perfect choice. Get ready to be amazed by its incredible ice sculptures, snow-covered landscapes, and vibrant winter festivals. Harbin, known as the Ice City, transformed into a winter wonderland during the colder months. With its magnificent ice sculptures, snow-covered landscapes, and vibrant winter festivals, Harbin offers a unique and unforgettable experience. To fully immerse yourself in the magic of this icy paradise, plan to spend 3 to 4 days exploring its wonders. And to make your stay comfortable and enjoyable, Harbin offers a wide range of accommodations options to suit every budget and preference. Whether you're looking for budget-friendly hostels, cozy guest houses, or luxurious hotels, you'll find the perfect place to warm up after a day of exploring the icy city. For budget-conscious travelers, hostels are a great option, offering dorm beds for around 50 to 120 yuan, $7 to $18 per night, and private rooms from 120 to 250 yuan, $18 to $37. If you prefer a more intimate and local experience, guest houses are a good choice, with prices ranging from 200 to 400 yuan, $30 to $60 per night. For those seeking more comfort and amenities, Harbin has a variety of hotels, with 3 to 4-star hotels costing around 400 to 800 yuan, $60 to $120 per night, and 5-star hotels starting at 1,000 yuan, $150 and above. You can find plenty of accommodation options in the city center, close to attractions like the Ice and Snow World, Central Street, and Saint Sophia Cathedral. Once you've settled in, navigating Harbin is easy with its convenient transportation options. Harbin has an extensive bus network with affordable fares, typically around 1 to 2 yuan. Taxis are readily available and offer a comfortable way to get around, especially for longer distances. Harbin also has a modern subway system, although the number of lines is still limited. Now, let's delve into the icy wonders that make Harbin a winter paradise. Undoubtedly, the most iconic attraction is the Harbin International Ice and Snow Sculpture Festival, an annual event held from January to February. It is the highlight of winter in Harbin. Prepare to be amazed by the colossal ice sculptures, illuminated with vibrant colors, creating a magical world of ice and snow. The entrance fee ranges from 300 to 500 yuan, $45 to $75, depending on the time of your visit. The Harbin Ice and Snow Festival has its own roots in the traditional ice lantern shows held during the Jin Dynasty. These lantern shows were a way for people to celebrate the winter solstice and enjoy the long winter nights. Over time, the festival evolved into a grand spectacle it is today, attracting millions of visitors from around the world. For another unforgettable snow experience, Sun Island Snow Sculpture Art Expo offers a variety of snow-themed activities, including skiing, ice skating, and snow sculpting. You can easily spend an entire day here, enjoying the festive atmosphere and trying your hand at creating your own snow masterpiece. Sun Island was originally a summer resort for the Russian elite during the early 20th century. It was later transformed into a public park and became a popular destination for winter activities, especially after the establishment of a snow sculpture expo. After immersing yourself in the snowy landscapes of Sun Island, head back to the city center and take a stroll down Central Street, a bustling pedestrian street lined with shops, restaurants, and cafes. It's a great place to soak up the local atmosphere, do some souvenir shopping, and try some Harbin's culinary delights. Central Street was built in the late 19th century during the Russian occupation of Harbin. It quickly became the city's commercial center and remains a vibrant hub today, showcasing a blend of European and Chinese architectural styles. While exploring Central Street, make sure to visit this magnificent Byzantine-style cathedral, a landmark of Harbin and a testament to the city's multicultural history. Admire its intricate architecture and stained glass windows, and learn about its role as a cultural center for the Russian community in the early 20th century. In stark contrast to the beauty of St. Sophia Cathedral, for a sobering reminder of the past, visit the Uni 731 Museum, which documents the horrific war crimes committed by the Japanese army during World War II. The museum serves as a memorial to the victims and a reminder of the importance of peace. After a long day of exploring Harbin's historical and cultural sites, you'll surely work up an appetite. Harbin's cuisine is a delicious blend of Chinese and Russian influences. Get ready to explore these unique and enticing dishes. Guo Bao Roll. This sweet and sour pork dish features crispy fried pork coated in a tangy, flavorful sauce. You can enjoy this dish for around 30 to 50 yuan for a medium-sized plate at most restaurants. Some renowned places for delicious guo bao roll include Lao Bian Dumpling Restaurant for a traditional taste, or the various food stalls along Central Street for unique variations. Dumpling. Jiuzhaigou. Harbin is famous for its wide variety of dumpling, filled with everything from meat and vegetables to seafood. Prices range from 15 to 30 yuan for a plate of 10 to 15 dumplings, depending on the filling and the restaurant. Visit Dongfeng Dumpling King to try unique fillings or explore local flavors at small eateries around the city for budget-friendly options. Spicy hot pot. Ma La Tang. This is the perfect dish to warm you up during the cold winter months. Choose your favorite ingredients like meat, seafood, vegetables, and tofu, and cook them in a simmering spicy broth. Prices are usually based on the weight of the ingredients you choose, ranging from 50 to 80 rand per person. You can find spicy hot pot at Malatang restaurant chains for a wide selection of fresh ingredients, or experience the lively atmosphere and enjoy local flavors at night markets. Don't forget to explore all the Harbin specialties like red sausage, dalipa bread, and Matia ice cream for a complete culinary experience. As your time in Harbin comes to an end, you carry with your memories of glittering ice sculptures, festive winter celebrations, and a unique charm of this icy city. But the journey through the winter wonders of China doesn't end here. Your winter adventure continues with more exciting destinations and experiences awaiting you. Seeking a change of pace from the icy grandeur of Harbin? Journey south to the enchanting province of Hunan, where the ancient town of Fenghuang awaits. With its well-preserved architecture, vibrant Mao culture, and stunning natural beauty, Fenghuang offers a glimpse into a bygone era of China. To truly soak up the atmosphere and explore its hidden corners, You've decided to spend 2 to 3 days wandering its charming streets. Fenghuang, meaning Phoenix, is a town steeped in history and legend. Established in 704 AD during the Tang Dynasty, it later became a vital political and military outpost during the Ming and Qing dynasties. Despite its strategic importance, Fenghuang managed to retain its unique cultural identity with the Miao people, an ethnic minority group, contributing significantly to its rich heritage. Today, Fenghuang stands as a testament to the harmonious coexistence of diverse cultures and traditions. Reaching Fenghuang is an adventure in itself. You could fly to Tongren Fenghuang Airport, TEN, followed by a scenic bus or taxi ride to the town, which takes about an hour. Alternatively, you could opt for a train, arriving at Jiuzhaigou railway station, the nearest train station to Fenghuang. From there, a bus or a taxi will make you to the town in about an hour. Fenghuang offers a variety of accommodations options to suit your budget and style. Whether you're looking for a social hostel, a traditional guest house, or a comfortable hotel, you'll find the perfect place to unwind after a day exploring. For budget-conscious travelers, hostels are a great choice, offering dorm beds around 50 to 120 yuan, $7 to $18 per night, and private rooms from 100 to 250 yuan, $18 to $37. If you prefer a more intimate and local experience, guest houses are a good option, with prices ranging from 200 to 400 yuan, $30 to $60 per night. Many guest houses in Fenghuang are built in a traditional steel house style, offering a unique and charming experience. For those seeking more comfort and amenities, Fenghuang has a selection of hotels with prices varying depending on the star rating and location. For a truly authentic experience, you decide to stay in a traditional guest house overlooking the Tuojiang River. The wooden structure, with its intricate carvings and red lanterns, exudes a sense of history and charm. Your room, with its cozy bed and river view, is the perfect retreat after a day of exploring. The Tuojiang River is the lifeblood of Fenghuang, its gentle currents reflecting the town's colorful stilt houses and ancient bridges. You decide to take a boat ride down the river, soaking in the peaceful atmosphere and admiring the scenery. The boat ride costs around 100 yuan, $15 per person, but the experience is worth it. Next, you cross the Zhangjiajie Bridge, also known as the Rainbow Bridge, an iconic landmark of Fenghuang. This ancient stone bridge offers panoramic views of the town and the river. You take your time exploring the shops and tea houses housed into the bridge's structure. You then wander through the labyrinth alleyways of the old town, where you discover traditional shops selling handicrafts, tea houses offering fragrant brews, and historic buildings with intricate carvings. You get lost in a maze of streets, soaking up the atmosphere and discovering hidden courtyards and temples. You visit the former residence of Shen Kongwan, a renowned Chinese writer who was born in Fenghuang. The house has been converted into a museum, showcasing his life and works. The entrance fee is 20 yuan, $3. You also make time to visit the Yang family ancestral hall, which commemorates the Yang family generals from the Song dynasty. You explore the hall's courtyards and learn about the family's history and contributions to the region. To delve deeper into a local culture, you venture outside the town to explore the Miao King City, a historic site that offers insights into the tradition of Miao people. you learn about their unique architecture, costumes, and customs. Fenghuang's cuisine is a delightful blend of spicy Hunan flavors and local specialties. You start a culinary adventure with the town's most famous dish, smoked duck. The duck is marinated and smoked, resulting in a flavored and tender dish that costs around 60 yuan, $9. Next, you try the blood cake, a unique dish made with duck blood, rice, and spices. It has a chewy texture and a savory flavor that's surprisingly delicious. A plate of blood cake will set you back about 20 yuan, $3. Hunan cuisine is known for its spiciness, and the spicy tofu in Fenghuang is no exception. The tofu is stir-fried with chili peppers and other spices, making for a fiery and delicious dish that costs around 30 yuan, $4.50. You also try a variety of rice noodle dishes, from stir-fried noodles with vegetables and meat to noodle soups with flavorful broths, each costing around 15 to 25 yuan, $2 to $4. Fenghuang is home to a significant male population, and their vibrant culture is an integral part of the town's identity. You attend a captivating performance of male song and dance, featuring colorful costumes, intricate headdresses, and lively music. The performance costs around 80 yuan, $12, but is a worthwhile experience. You also visit local workshops to see artisans creating beautiful handicrafts such as batik fabrics, silver jewelry, and wood carvings. You can even try your hand at some of these crafts yourself. To further immerse yourself in Miao culture, you venture outside the town to visit traditional Miao villages where you can learn about their unique architecture, customs, and way of life. Fenghuang Ancient Town. With its timeless beauty, rich history, and vibrant culture, will leave a lasting impression on your heart. As you continue your winter adventure through China, you carry with you the memories of this enchanting town and the warmth of its people. If you're seeking truly unique landscape, Zhangjiajie National Forest Park is a must-visit. Prepare to be amazed by its towering sandstone pillars, lush valleys, and cascading waterfalls. Prepare to be awestruck by the sheer beauty and grandeur of Zhangjiajie. This unique landscape, often described as a real-life Pandora, served as inspiration for floating mountains in the movie Avatar. With its towering sandstone pillars, lush valleys, and cascading waterfalls and mysterious caves, Zhangjiajie offers a truly unforgettable experience. To fully immerse yourself in this natural wonderland, plan to spend 3 to 4 days exploring its diverse attractions. Reaching Zhangjiajie is relatively easy, with options for air, rail, and road travel. Zhangjiajie Harbin International Airport connects the city to major cities across China. Zhangjiajie Railway Station offers convenient access to various cities, with high-speed trains making the journey a breeze. Long-distance buses connect Zhangjiajie to neighboring cities and towns, offering a more budget-friendly option. Zhangjiajie offers a wide range of accommodations options to suit every budget and preference. For budget-conscious travelers, hostels are a great choice, offering dorm beds for as low as 50 yuan, $7 per night, and private rooms for around 150 to 200 yuan, $22 to $30. If you prefer a more local experience, guest houses are a good option, with prices ranging from 200 to 500 yuan, $30 to $75 per night. Many guest houses offer stunning views of the surrounding mountains, For those seeking more comfort and amenities, Zhangjiajie has a variety of hotels with 3 to 4 star hotels costing around 500 to 1,000 yuan, 75 to 150 per night, and 5-star hotels starting at 1,500 yuan, $220 and above. You can find accommodation in Wulingyuan district, the main tourist area, or in the city center of Zhangjiajie. Staying in Wulingyuan offers closer proximity to the national park entrance, while staying in the city center provides more dining and entertainment options. For your stay in Zhangjiajie, you opt for a cozy guest house nestled amidst the mountains. The guest house offers stunning views of the surrounding landscape and a peaceful atmosphere, perfect for relaxing after a day of exploring. The main attraction in Zhangjiajie is, of course, the National Forest Park, home to the iconic sandstone pillars that inspired the floating mountains in Avatar. Take a cable car up to Zhangjiajie scenic area where you can walk along the first bridge under heaven, a natural rock bridge suspended between 2 cliffs. From here, you can marvel at the breathtaking views of a southern sky column, now renamed Avatar Hallelujah Mountain. Another must-visit destination in Tianmen Mountain, known for its Heaven Gate, a massive natural arc in a cliff face. Take the world's longest cable car right to the top of the mountain, where you can walk along the glass skywalk, offering thrilling views of the valley below. Don't miss the 99 bends, a winning road with hairpin turns that leads up to the mountain. Explore the Yellow Dragon Cave, one of the largest and most beautiful cave systems in China. Venture into the vast chambers adorned with stalactites, stalagmites, and underground rivers. You can even take a boat ride through the cave's underground lake. Wulingyuan Town is a charming place to experience the local culture and try some delicious Hunan cuisine. You can also find souvenirs and handicrafts here. For the ultimate thrill, walk across the world's highest and longest glass bottom bridge, suspended over a deep canyon. The bridge offers breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape and is sure to get your adrenaline pumping. Zhangjiajie offers a variety of delicious dishes, including local specialties and Hunan cuisine. Smoked meat is a local delicacy and a must-try. The meat, usually pork, is marinated and smoked, resulting in flavorful and tender dish. You can find smoked meat at any restaurants, and street food stalls are around 30 to 50 yuan, $4 to $7. Xiangxi noodles are thin noodles that are served in a spicy broth with minced meat, vegetables, and peanuts. It's a hearty and flavorful dish, perfect for a cold winter day. A bowl of Xiangxi noodles costs around 15 to 20 yuan, $2 to $3. Bamboo rice is a unique dish as it's made by cooking glutinous rice inside bamboo tubes. The bamboo imparts a subtle fragrance to the rice, making it a delicious and aromatic treat. You can find bamboo rice at local restaurants for around 20 to 30 yuan, $3 to $4. Maltai liquor is a famous Chinese liquor that is produced in Guizhou province. It's a strong and aromatic spirit often enjoyed during special occasions. The Tujia Folk Custom Park offers a glimpse into the culture and traditions of the Tujia people, an ethnic minority group that has inhabited the Zhangjiajie region for centuries. You can watch traditional performance, learn about their customs, and see demonstrations of their handicrafts. Explore the bustling local markets where you can find fresh produce, local snacks, and handicrafts. It's a great way to experience the local way of life and find unique souvenirs. Zhangjiajie, with its breathtaking scenery, fascinating culture, and thrilling adventure, has surely left a lasting impression on you. As you continue your winter journey through China, you carry with you the memory of soaring mountains, mystical caves, and the warmth of the local people. For one last taste of authentic Chinese culture, set your sights on Shangri-La. This region is steeped in ancient Tibetan traditions and surrounded by breathtaking natural beauty. Shangri-La, also known as Zhongdian, is a hidden gem nestled in Yunnan province of southwestern China. This enchanting region is renowned for its snow-capped mountains, pristine lakes, verdant valleys, and ancient Tibetan monasteries. It's a place where you can immerse yourself in the serenity of nature, experience the rich culture of Tibetan Buddhism, and discover a sense of tranquility that is hard to find elsewhere. To fully appreciate the magic of Shangri-La, plan to spend 4 to 5 days exploring its diverse landscapes and cultural treasures. Reaching Shangri-La is an adventure in itself, with options for both air and road travel. Shangri-La Airport connects the region to major cities like Kunming, Chengdu, and Lhasa. Flying is the most convenient option, offering breathtaking views of the Himalayas as you descend into the mountainous paradise. Long-distance buses connect Shangri-La to Lijiang, Kunming, and other neighboring cities. While the journey may be longer, it offers a chance to witness the stunning scenery of Yunnan province unfold before your eyes. Shangri-La offers a diverse range of accommodation options to suit every budget and preference. Whether you seek the simplicity of guest house, the comforts of a modern hotel, or the tranquility of a traditional Tibetan lodge, you'll find the perfect place to rest and recharge. For budget-conscious travelers and those seeking an authentic local experience, guest houses are an excellent choice. Many guest houses are family-run, offering cozy rooms with traditional Tibetan decor and warm hospitality. Prices typically range from 100 to 300 yuan, $15 to $45 per night. If you prefer modern amenities and a wider range of services, Shangri-La has a variety of hotels to choose from. 3 to 4-star hotels offer comfortable accommodations with modern amenities for around 300 to 800 yuan, $45 to $120 per night, while 5-star hotels provide a luxurious experience with prices starting at 1,000 yuan, $150 and above. For a truly unique experience, consider staying in a traditional Tibetan lodge. These lodges offer a glimpse into the local way of life, with rustic charm, cozy fireplaces, and stunning views of the surrounding mountains. Prices vary depending on the location and amenities. You decide to immerse yourself in the local culture by staying in a traditional Tibetan guest house in Fenghuang Ancient Town. The guest house, with its colorful prayer flags fluttering in the wind and the aroma of yak butter tea wafting through the air, offers a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Your room, adorned with Tibetan carpets and tapestries, provides a cozy retreat after a day of exploring. The journey begins at Zhangjiajie Monastery, the largest Tibetan Buddhist monastery in Yunnan province. Often referred to as the Little Potala Palace, this magnificent monastery sits atop a hill overlooking the town, its golden roofs gleaming in the sunlight. Explore the intricate temples, admire the colorful murals and statues, and witness the monks chanting their daily prayers. The entrance fee is 150 yuan, $17. Wander through the charming streets of Fenghuang Ancient Town, where time seems to slow down. Admire the traditional Tibetan houses with their whitewashed walls and intricately carved wooden windows. Explore the narrow alleyways lined with shops selling Tibetan handicrafts, prayer wheels spinning gently in the breeze, and the scent of incense filling the air. In the evening, Gather around the central square and witness the locals performing traditional Tibetan dances. Escape into the serene beauty of Botatso National Park, a haven of biodiversity. Hike through pristine forest, marvel at the crystal-clear waters of Bita Lake, and keep an eye out for rare wildlife like the black-necked crane and a Yunnan snub-nosed monkey. The entrance fee is 258 yuan, $38, which includes a scenic bus tour through the park. Embark on a breathtaking journey to Meili Snow Mountain, a sacred peak revered by Tibetan Buddhists. The highest peak, Kawagibo, stands a majestic 6,740 meters, 22,113 feet, and is perpetually covered in snow. Hike through the picturesque valleys, witness the sunrise casting a golden glow on the snow-capped peaks, and feel a sense of awe in the presence of this natural wonder. For the adventurous souls, a trek through Tiger Leaping Gorge is a must-do. This dramatic gorge, one of the deepest in the world, is carved by the roaring Zhangjiajie River. Hike along the narrow trails, marvel at the sheer cliff towering above you, and witness the power of nature as the river thunders through the gorge. Warm up with a heavy yak meat hot pot, a Shangri-La specialty. The tender yak meat is cooked in a flavorful broth with vegetables and noodles, making for a delicious and satisfying meal. A hot pot for two typically costs around 150 yuan, $22. Try tampa, a staple food of Tibet made from roasted barley flour. It's often mixed with butter tea and eaten with your hands. You can find tampa at local markets and restaurants for around 10 yuan, $1.50 per serving. This hearty noodle soup, thapa, is another Tibetan favorite. The noodles are served in a flavorful broth with yak meat, vegetables, and spices. A bowl of thapa costs around 20 yuan, $3. These delicious Tibetan dumplings, momos, are filled with meat or vegetables and steamed to perfection. They're a popular snack and can be found at street food stalls and restaurants for around 50 yuan, $2.20 per plate. Immerse yourself in the spiritual atmosphere of Shangri-La's many Tibetan Buddhist monasteries. Observe the monks chanting their prayers, admire the intricate artwork and statues, and learn about the rich traditions of Tibetan Buddhism. Experience the vibrant culture of Tibet through traditional song and dance performances. The colorful costumes, graceful movements, and rhythmic music will transport you to another world. If you're lucky enough to visit Shangri-La during a festival, you'll witness the true spirit of a local culture. The festivals are a time for celebration with colorful processions, traditional music and dance, and delicious food. As your journey through the winter wonderland of China comes to an end, you'll carry with you a treasure trove of memories. From the historical grandeur of Beijing to the serene beauty of Jiuzhaigou, the icy magic of Harbin, the ancient charm of Fenghuang, the breathtaking landscapes of Zhangjiajie, and the spiritual serenity of Shangri-La, you experience the diverse facets of this captivating country. But before you say Daijian to China, let's recap some essential tips for navigating this incredible country. Visa. Make sure to obtain your visa well in advance of your trip. The process can vary depending on your nationality, so check the specific requirements for your country. Language. While English is spoken in some tourist areas, learning a few basic Mandarin phrases will enhance your experience and show respect for the local culture. Download a translation app to help you communicate with locals and navigate menus and signs. Internet. China has restriction on internet access, so download a VPN before your trip to access websites and apps that may be blocked. Weather. Be prepared for cold temperatures and pack accordingly. Layering is key, and don't forget essentials like a warm hat, gloves, and scarf. Culture. China has a rich and diverse culture, so take some time to learn about the local customs and etiquette before you go. This will help you avoid any faux pas and show respect for local people. Money. While credit cards are becoming more widely accepted, it's still a good idea to carry some cash, especially for smaller purchases and in rural areas. Consider setting up a mobile payment app like Alipay or WeChat Pay for a more convenient experience. Planning. Plan your itinerary carefully, including transportation and accommodation. Book your flights and train tickets in advance, especially during peak season. With a little preparation and open mind, your winter adventure in China will be an unforgettable experience. Until next time, may your travels be filled with wonder and joy.